Hi, Julie Torrens here. So you never know what is going to inspire you. I'm moving cords. Oh, I'm sorry. So where did I get inspiration today? Well, believe it or not, from Walgreens. Walgreens has their composition notebooks on sale for 49 cents a piece. So I got 2 of them. Why? If you watched my videos, you know I do use these books, and you can see this was my 10 or less journal, 10 minutes or less, work in your journal. So I wanted to show you some of my routines that I like to do to keep myself limber in my art. If you've been following my channel, and I just grabbed a Sharpie here. I've got several out because I never know when they're going to work. But I like to draw, be it if I'm working in my printables, if I am doing watercolor, which is how I do my printables. And I do not do any kind of computer generated anything. It's all watercolor and hand drawn, which I think helps them to look unique. But I like to doodle like I am right now, because this type of an exercise, even just a few minutes a day, if you do this for 10 minutes a day, and that's why I've named my journal 10 minutes or less. If you do this for 10 minutes a day, in 5 days, you are going to see results. I promise. I don't care if you have a familial tremor. I don't care if you're 30 years old or like me, 65 years old. Just doing exercises like I'm doing right now helps your hand-eye coordination. And I know you've heard that, but what is that? That is the ability to take an idea from your brain, have it go down your arm, and then come out at your fingertips, so that what you want to draw is what you actually do draw. So by just doing this, and I don't know if you've noticed, but I started out really wide and now I'm working really narrow, just because it's a warm-up skill for me. This helps me to just limber up my arthritic hands and be able to, as I say, have what is in my brain come out my fingertips, all the way from my head, down my shoulder, past my elbow, around my wrists, and right out my fingertips. This is how you get started. You really need to. So go to Walgreens or your dollar store, where here our dollar store charges $1.25 for a composition notebook. The lines are handy, but you can ignore them if you want. The paper is good enough. And just start doing your practice drawing. Now, does it have to be these snail swirls? It doesn't. You can start out with just lines and then work towards getting your lines closer and closer without touching. There's another way that you can practice. Maybe you're familiar with Zentangling. Well, that is just an exercise in very deliberate and very disciplined drawing. So, you know, practice. Is this perfect? No, but it's better than if I hadn't practiced at all. And like I say, it's sort of like teeth whitening. You'll see results on the day that you do it, but you'll also see more results as you layer day upon day after day. My other bit of advice is, don't put this book away. Don't shove it away in a drawer. Don't lock it up in a cupboard. put it on top of the refrigerator, where chances are small hands, you know, but if they get into it, you know, it's for me 49 cents, maybe $1.25. But, you know, just have it so that when you've got that 7 minutes, which can feel like an eternity to wait for the microwave, pull this down off at the top of the refrigerator and get 7 minutes of some drawing skills in. And have fun with it. So whenever I talk about drawing, or whenever I talk about doing this kind of art, and those of you who know me from doing journals, I still do journals, but this goes back to what I really love, which is art journaling. Get yourself a book. Now, I like to draw faces. So this is a Jane Davenport book that I got years ago, and it's still available, Drawing and Painting Beautiful Faces. But maybe faces aren't your thing. Maybe it's flowers, or maybe it's animals, or whatever it is. Get yourself a book. Go to the library and work it. You know, get a book that is designed for teaching. Now, Jane starts off in this book with who she is, where she lives, supplies that you can use, all of this. And it's all great. Supplies that she uses. And then she gets into the actual basics of drawing. And this is how I learned to draw faces when I was a child. I'm talking 3rd grade, 4th grade. This is exactly how I was taught, but it was a wonderful refresher. But you can see it's step by step, and you know, you just work the programs, you know, work the lessons. And here she's showing you different expressions, going a more whimsical look, which I would say my faces are definitely a whimsical look. Different angles, all of this. Get yourself a good book on what you want. You can find books about butterfly drawing. You can find books about bird drawing. It's all there. So when I draw a face, now I'm going to skip a page. I've got my big old black Sharpie, and I'm going to do just like Jane showed you. But like I said, I learned this years ago. So I'm going to start out with an oval, and I'm not doing anything exact at all. I'm going to divide it into 4s. And, you know, that's close enough. Then I'm going to go from this space to this space, half again. And then from this space to this space, half again. Those are my guidelines. So now I'm going to go back here. Now, I hope you can see the guidelines through there. I can see them. I hope that you can. I think you can see them. They're going to be faint, but they're there. They're even faint to me. I mean, it feels like I've got more than one page between, but I don't. Yeah, see, these papers are pretty good. All right, now I'm going to grab a narrower Sharpie. You can do this in pencil. I'm just doing it in Sharpie because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So I can barely see the line, but I can see it's right here. That first, here's your center line. Then we divided our oval in half from top to bottom. That line is our line, and make sure that that line is where your eyes go. So I'm going to start by making a little tear duct and then almond shape. Now, however big this eye is, that's how much space between the eyes. It doesn't have to be measured. Don't get out a ruler. And then I can't even see the eye I just made because my hand's in the way. They don't need to be the same. No two eyes are the same. Okay, the second line was between here and here, the middle, which falls right here. The way I make a nose with a face looking straight at me, a C shape, and then a U shape. Then the line that was between here and here in the middle, that's like the opening of your mouth. Now, sometimes I like to make this space a little shorter or a little longer. In this case, it just seems to me like I need to make it a little bit shorter. But I use what I call a 3-circle method, and I'll show you what I mean. So I have in my mind this. Then I can draw the upper lip. See, I come up to the top, go down, and then bring it down. The middle, I just bring across. And then the bottom, and there's my mouth. And it kind of went up this way. I don't care. I'll just give her a little smirk. Now, the eyes, you never see the whole iris, the whole colored part of your eye. So I'm just gonna draw her like that, give it a pupil, which is what really adds life to your face. Now, just following the almond, giving her some eyelids. And now I'm going to go ahead. I can put her head in if I want, you know, but I can see that my headline really, really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give her some hair. I like to do bangs in an M, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And then I can figure out where maybe a part might be and then just bring the hair around. And again, I think hair is what can really bring your picture to life. And just scribble. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but my hand's getting further and further back because that is how I like to draw. Eyelashes, I don't do a lot with. Eyebrows, very important, and I just make them sketchy little lines following the eyelid. And then I can shape them up, but I want to get that basic arch in. Right now, fashion dictates a heavier eyebrow for all of us. And then eyelashes, I like to make, I'm going to show you up here, like this. Just kind of make a mark like that. And I'm not even going to go all the way. I'm just going to, like that. And then I just make the eyelashes come off of those marks. So, you know, I've got those marks kind of in my mind. So, but I can get way out of control with eyelashes and they end up looking like spiders. I usually put very, very little on the bottom. And, I mean, here's your basic face. Now, a lot of times when I have faces included, people are like, oh, no, don't, you know, we don't want to draw a face. They're not that hard. It just takes some of this. Get your practice in and then start drawing your face. Now, I'm going to show you some little tricks that I do right here in this book. I've got too many things in my hand. So, let's turn a couple pages here. Probably shouldn't have put the clip in. The book I'm using right now, I did get from the Dollar Tree. And the paper's pretty heavy. All right, so here's where you want to test out a few pens. So I've got, this is a Pilot, and it's a Precise V5, and it's made by the company Pilot. And I'm just going to make a few marks. I've got a little pickle jar of water and a few brushes. And I'm just going to grab a brush. Does this move? Some, not a lot. Okay, let's grab another pen. Let's see. Now the Sharpie, I don't think this is going to move at all because that's their claim to fame. Yeah, see, that doesn't move at all. So we want a pen that moves. How about a Staedtler? Now, I like Staedtlers. A lot of people like Micron. I prefer a Staedtler brand. I just find that the tips wear better for me. Doesn't move, doesn't surprise me. I use that with my watercolor. Okay, I've just bought these. I've had them before. I've used them up. These are normally $5 for a package of 2. I got it for $1.49. Go to your places that had school supplies, and you will find that things like Sharpies, these composition books, they're all now on clearance, big clearance. They were on a good sale when they were school supply sales, but now they're really on a clearance. Now, my experience with these Sharpie gel pens is that they do move. I just took the tip off. You know, when you buy a gel pen, it's got like a little ball. Now this should move for me, but do what I just did. Get your pens out and see that moves good. So the first two, they move the most. The Precise from Pilot, and then my Sharpie gel pen. All right, let's get these out of the way. And I'm just going to show you one more thing. But, you know, you can have fun with this. So I'm going to go ahead with my Sharpie gel, and I'm going to start out with some eyes. I'm going to hold my pen pretty far back, and I want that sketchy look. I don't want that precision look at all. And if your lines don't go where you intended, then sometimes that can just bring more emotion and more expression to the face. So don't sweat that. I'm going to bring my hand in for some pupils and some indications of an iris. I'm going back to the back of the pen because, again, I want that sketchy look. Now, you can see this eye is a lot smaller. I'm just going to redo. It's fine. Add some eyebrow. Eyebrow. I'm going to add a little bit of eyelashes. I'm going to add a little bit of eyeliner. Maybe a few lashes here. Okay, now I'm going to give her some hair. I'll go ahead and do that M since I talked about that before. And I'm just bringing that hair, I'm way in the back of the pen. I'm just bringing that hair wild and free. And I'm just going to give her an indication of a chin. I'm not finishing up like the whole drawing, because your brain will fill in the rest. And that's the sketchiness that I want. And a neck or a throat, just an indication. And then maybe just, I'm going to go real light just to get a little shadow in there and a little shadow in here. I'm going to grab the big old brush in the pickle jar, and here we go. This is the magic, I promise. It's so fun to see this happen. I love it. And it's where you want darkness. Oh, I almost stuck it in my coffee. Darkness, shadow. Like under the nose is always some shadow. Upper lip is always darker than the lower lip. So I'm only going to put water on the upper lip and then just a little around the edge of the bottom lip. Here's her chin. I want really more of that to drag down. And then her throat. You always have a bit of a shadow around your hairline. But, I mean, can you see this coming together? There. Now, you can do this. So when you see me drawing faces on things like little paper doll tags and stuff, this is how I got started with all that. And I enjoy it. I really do. Okay, now, look, this paper's not even wet. You can do so much with these books. All right, should we do one more? All right, I am going to put the lid on the Sharpie, and I'll use the Pilot this time, and we'll see how that goes. Oh, this is a Stabilo. This is a black, very reactive with water pen. It's a pencil. You might want to try one of these, but another thing you can do is if you have watercolor pencils, that's a fun way, watercolor crayons, that you can do what I'm doing. It's a lot of fun, and maybe I'll do a video just doing that. Okay, I'm going to keep my hand up close, just to get that teardrop in, tear duct in. And again, I can't even see that other eye because my hand's in the way. And get the irises in. That's good. This time, for the pupil, I'm just going to make a C shape for both of them. And I'm going to do the nose just like we did. Mouth. Moving my hand back. And give her a little smile and a little bit of an eyelid here. Eyebrow, kind of a raised eyebrow on that side. Good, good, good. I'm going to add some eyeliner. And I'm going to give her just a few lashes. And somewhat of a chin here. And some hair going way back. And I am just literally scribbling. Scribble, scribble, scribble. I'm going to put in a bit of a indication of a throat. Right off the page. Okay, now let's get the water, and I'm using a big old brush. Any brush will do. And here we go. Get the eyebrow, all the things that I want just a little darker, or that might be having just a little bit of a shadow. Gave her kind of a smoky eye under the nose and on each side of the nostrils. Upper lip, darker. So I'm going to use water on the whole thing. I just outline the bottom. And a little bit lower. Under the chin. What do you say? Huh? Now I'm going to give her just a little bit of an indication this time of an iris. This bled into there. That's fine. I'll just bleed this side into there. There. Good. I'm going to give her just a little bit around her face where her hair would be giving her a bit of a shadow. There. I know you can do this. I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. We're going to be doing more projects with drawing that goes along with my journal making, my ephemera making, and all of that. Collage, the works. I just look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye.